Good morning to everyone. In today's video we are going to see about tie-set matrix. In last two videos we are come across with a certain definitions related to your network topology and how we are going to write the incidence matrix for a given graph or from the given network. So in today's class we are going to see how we are going to write the tie-set matrix for a given network. Here please understand only one thing, especially for your syllabi. Okay, for your syllabi we are having this cut set matrix or tie set matrix for the planar networks. Okay, already if, we know that the planar networks are nothing but whatever the graphs if we written on the two-dimensional two-dimensional things, we call it as planar graphs. That means no branch is intersecting on any other branches. No two branches are intersect. If they are intersect to each other, that means the graph is oriented in three-dimensional way. That will comes under non-planar graphs. But in your syllabi we are having only the planar graphs. Okay, so we will start with our basic tie-set matrix. Okay, basic tie-set matrix. So before going into the in detail of tie-set matrix, please remember one point. Whatever the graph, okay, whatever the graph, if they provided the oriented graph, well and good in your problems. If they didn't provide any oriented graph, please assume the directions as per your wish. As per your wish, if you are having the network, then you can suppose those directions as per the current from the source to your loads and number of nodes, whether it is based upon the nodes, if whether the current is divided in which direction we are going to assign. But if they didn't provide any oriented graph, they simply given the undirected graph, as per the student wish we can assume the directions. Based upon those directions we have this whatever the tie set matrix or cut set matrix or incidence matrix. It depends upon the directions we are choosing in your branches. Okay, so now in the tie set matrix, we are going to choose the tree from the given graph. And for this tree, we are going to add the links. One by one. Okay, one by one. From that we have to form a loop. In that loop the current will start circulating. So if we have any closed loop, automatically the current will be available based upon that current. Okay, based upon that current, that means that loop current, we are going to define the your basic tie set matrix. Okay, so first of all we go through this example. Okay, so this is the graph, that means the connected graph, that means the complete graph. From this graph we have the terms like what are the number of nodes available, what are the number of branches. In these branches, how many branches will be acts as your tree, and how many branches, that means strings or links. So we can simply given. So I have total number of nodes as 4. So A, B, C, D, and number of branches as 6, which is stated from 1 to 6. And to get the number of branches for the tree, we are mentioning it as n minus 1. So total 4 branches in that 4 nodes. 4 minus 1, that is 3. That means for any tree it should have 3 branches. Okay, for the core tree, that means the rest of the branches, already having the 3 branches here. From the total branches 6, if I reduce these 3 branches, then I will get the 3 branches for the core tree. That means the tree should have the 3 branches and the core tree should have the rest of 3 branches. So here I am assuming the tree. Already we know the conditions for the tree. We didn't have, all nodes should be connected. all the nodes should be connected without any closed loop. Okay, so I'm choosing a tree. Okay, I'm choosing a tree such that 6 5 4 branches are joining. So here I'm not forming any closed loop, and all the nodes are available. That is tree. When I go for the core tree, the rest of the branches, that means 1 2 3 will forms the core tree. Now the task is, for this given tree, we have to add these links, that means the core tree branches individually. We have to add these core tree branches individually and observe that what will be the loops are available right now. So for this tree, now I'm adding the link 1. So whenever I'm adding this link 1, so this 1 6 5 will forms a closed loop. Due to this presence of closed loop, the current starts circulating in this loop. Okay, similar fashion, for the given tree, if I am adding the second link, that means the second link, then there also the current will start flowing in 2 4 5. Okay, and for next set, if I am adding third link to the tree, it will forms here one more closed loop, this one. So here for every closed loop I am considering a circulating current, capital I1, I2, I3. So please remember one thing, how many branches are available in your core tree? The same number of loops will be available, because for every set we are going to add one link at a time. Here I am adding the 1, this is the 2, and this is the 3. So for every set we are going to add one link at a time for your given tree. So you may choose any different tree. For that corresponding tree we get the links, and that link should be added to your tree. There is no compulsion of that we have to select the same tree for every graph. No, as per the wish we are going to select the tree. For that corresponding tree we get the links, and we are going to add the link one by one to your tree. Okay, so complete graph including your circulating currents we are mentioning right now. Okay, we are writing. So till this I think everyone is clear. So if you are having any doubt regarding how we are going to add all those things, please pause the video and go back and check. For given tree we are adding link to at each and every instant. Okay, we are not adding all the links at a time. So this is the final figure. I'm considering from these 3 sets. So I'm having 3 sets. So I'm just writing the loop currents. Okay, from this loop currents, because whenever we are having the loop, the equations we are going to write is nothing but your KVL equations. Okay, so this is the loop 1, this is the loop 2, this is the loop 3. Please observe one point. Whatever this direction of the branch, sometimes it is aligned with your loop currents. In some cases it is opposite. Okay, for time being we are assuming whatever the branch currents, so total we are having 6 branches, so we are assuming I12, that means a small I1 to I6 as your branch currents, and capital I1, capital I2 and capital I3 are your loop currents. Okay, so when I will interested to write the KVL equations, whatever this branch voltage, that means the drop in your branch 1, it is aligned in your current direction, loop current direction, so we are considering it as positive. That means V1 is positive. In the same fashion, V5, okay, branch voltage 5 also positive due to these two are aligned. And when it's coming to your sixth branch, your loop current and branch current are opposite to each other, so we consider it as minus V6. So please observe this once. So your direction is assuming this way. So V1 plus V5 minus V6. Now for the second loop I am considering in this direction. So V2 is positive, V4 is positive, and V5 is negative, minus. And I am assuming third direction is this way. So V3 is positive, V4 is minus. One point I just want to mention, for better understanding or simple calculations, try to assume your loop currents, because these loop currents, whatever this capital I1, capital I2, capital I3 is, assumed by our own. So for easy calculations, try to assume that this direction, loop current directions, in such a way that it should be aligned with your link currents. That means here this is in this direction. So your link current and your loop current should be coincide. It is not mandatory. It is just for a simple calculations. For simple calculations, it will be easy, because I can say that whatever that I1 is, the branch current is nothing but your loop current. I can say, okay, we will see that one also in coming few minutes. So now I am written this KVL equations. So this is for related to your loop 1 and loop 2 and loop 3. So now we are going to write the whatever called matrix in the combination. That means in the combination that loops on your, okay, loop currents, especially the loop currents on your rows and the number of branches on your columns. So when I consider this, so if I am simply written, so if I draw for the loop 1, V1 is available, V5 is available, V6 available. Already the direction is already mentioned, okay, so no need to bother about the direction similar to your incidence matrix, whether it's towards our matrix or away from the matrix. First of all, we go for the from the KVL equations, then we can draw the conclusions, whether it is in coincides or opposite, we can. And likewise for the second loop, for the second loop, V2, V4 and V5 is available. V2, V4 and V5. V5 is negative, okay. And the third loop, V3 and V4. So I'm just writing these equations in matrix format. So for each and everything, so total I'm seeing 6 branches and 6 voltages. You can observe. So if I multiply this, V1 plus V5 minus V6, the same equation I'm getting. So I'm writing this equations in form of matrix. So this entire matrix we call it as tie-set matrix, okay, we call it as tie-set matrix, which is represented with capital letter B. And these are your branch voltages. So the dimension of your tie-set matrix, the dimension of your tie-set matrix, we are given loops cross your branches. And here whatever the adding a single link to your tree, we call it as a fundamental loop or F loop, okay, fundamental loop or F loop, okay. So by this we can draw the conclusions for the element of your matrix B. Similar, if the branch, okay, if the branch is available at that loop, we are providing either it is a +1 or -1 based upon the direction. If it is not at all related, we simply keep it as 0. Okay, we just observe. So in this loop, only 1, 5, 6 is available. The rest of the elements are zeros. The rest of the elements are zeros. Whatever the direction of your loop current coincides with your branch currents, that means 1 and 5 are coincide with your loop current 1. So we are assuming it as a positive. And whatever the opposite direction, that means 6 is opposite direction to your loop current, so we consider it as negative. We are considering it as negative. The same thing we are mentioned here. So whether the branch in the F loop, that means your closed loop, okay, is available, and the direction is also coincides with your loop current. Okay, coincides with your loop current, we are assuming it as positive. For example, the branch is available in the closed loop. Okay, the branch is available in the whatever the closed loop, but the direction is opposite, we are assuming it as -1. The branch and not at all related to your closed loop, that is your fundamental loop, then the element is simply keep it as 0. So from here we just draw the conclusion from your branch voltages. That means we simply write the KVL equations to draw your whatever the tie-set matrix. Here please assume from this we can also write the relation between your branch currents and your loop currents also. Branch currents and the loop currents also, which is given as branch currents equals to transpose of your loop currents. Okay, so we are having total 6 branches. I already have my B matrix and I have total 3 loops, so 3 currents. Okay, so we can write, so after doing your multiplications, whatever the matrix multiplications, I can get whatever the branch current I1 is nothing but the capital I1. Okay, loop current I1. So observe here once. So the branch current I1, okay, the branch current I1 is nothing but the loop current I1. Branch current I1 is nothing but the loop current I2, and the branch current 2, okay, branch current is 2 is nothing but your loop current 2, and branch current 3 is nothing but your loop current 3. Okay, because I am assuming the loop current directions in such a way that it should be coincides with the links, link currents. And please observe here, to find out the branch current I4, whether it is combination, it is combined with two loops, that is I2 and I3. So I am following this direction, that means I2 direction, I2 minus I3. So I4 is nothing but, branch current I4 is nothing but I2 minus I3. Similar for I5, I1 minus I2. For I6, that means branch current I6 is nothing but your loop current I1, but it is opposite in direction. So please observe the same thing when I multiply these things. So I multiply the transpose of B matrix and loop currents. So for I1, I get the branch current I1 is nothing but I1, I2 and I3. For I4, that means the branch current I4, it is nothing but the combination of your I2 minus I3. For I5, it is I1 minus I2, and for I6, it is nothing but the opposite direction of your loop current 1. Okay, loop current 1. This is how we are going to write a tie-set matrix. For the given graph. Okay, so now I am not dealing with the same tie-set matrix for the graph. I am just going for this network. For the given network, how we are going to write the tie-set matrix. So observe here, this is the eighth element. So we know that, so we didn't mention any current directions. So from this source, so this is the things, current is dividing like this. So this and this, from the this is the current source, and here, and this from here, it will be available like this. Okay, so this is the thing, this is the thing. So please observe. So total number of nodes and total number of branches we need to find out. Okay, we need to find out. Before that we have to draw the graph for this given network. Whatever the elements, irrespective of its nature, we are mentioned in a short circuit way, line segment. For the voltage source we are represented as short circuit. For the current source it will be the open circuit. So when you observe this, whatever the nodes here, these nodes are available in the given problem, so I am not disturbing those values right now. So J, I, H, G, all these are represented in single way. Okay, it will be a single node, so we are not disturbing. And whatever this voltage source, okay, whatever this voltage source is also a short circuit, that means J and A is also acting as single node, so I'm just considering a single node. From that, A and B having one element, and B to I is also having one element, and B to C were having one element, C to D I didn't have any other element, so I'm considering a single node. And C to H I'm having one element, okay, and from D to E I am having one element, and E to F one element, and F to G I am having one element. So I'm getting the graph in such a way that like this. Okay, I'm getting the graph in such a way that, so if you want to redraw this graph, I'm simply rearranging the elements, because this is somewhat a common node. Okay, if I'm observing, it is somewhat common node, because that's why I'm assuming in the downward direction. Otherwise there is no issue if you take the same thing, but to have the nice presentation of a simple understanding, I just redrawn this graph in such a way which is having the common node on the bottom side. The same way I'm just placing, and I'm assuming the directions. Okay, if you observe here, whatever the D, from the D node to G node, whatever this, it is forming a single line. Okay, it is forming a single line, that means there is no separate branches. Okay, there is no deviation of the current, so I can assume this entire loop as single loop. Okay, this entire loop as single loop, so this will form a loop. So from finally totally I have three nodes and 5 branches. So if I have 3 nodes and 5 branches, based upon the previous knowledge, to have a tree, the number of branches should be equals to n minus 1. That means for any tree it should have only 2 branches, and the rest of the element, that means the links, will be the 3. Okay, based upon that, I simply assuming a tree, okay, which is represented in a straight line, and the core tree, okay, what